What is happening, viewers, and welcome back to the channel. Tonight we are back league racing again for the first time in 6-7 months, I think it is, and we are racing the new MX5s that have been released on Raceroom. So for the next 10 weeks, expect the most entertaining door-to-door action that YouTube or potentially money could offer you. Round 1 is on the Nordschleife, the VLN configuration. So we've got part of the GP look to do first of all. We branch off onto the main Nordschleife. The race will only be 2 laps, but that's still a good 20 minutes or so. Slightly different tact for this video tonight. We haven't done any talking during the race. This is all going to be narration done afterwards. Hope you like it. I might just put a little bit of work into my narration, if you like. We start from P17 after we fucked up quali. There's a few drivers starting at the back that are quite quick. So we start from P17 for the first race. 24 drivers, I think there are in this one. Let's crack on. Hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Over to the video. Here we go, guys. Starting P17. Where can we finish? A few guys quite quick starting at the back, Bo Dixon being one of them. And we get a great start on the rolling start. We're already past the row ahead of us. And already we're eyeing up this outside line where there's a bit of a gap there as everyone's going to check up and block to the inside. We're just going to come off the brakes a bit. We're going to keep 2 wheels on the track. We're going to try and go around the outside of everyone, giving us the inside for turn 2. And as you can see there, we are already up to P9 just from that start. Come around turn 2, we're now going to look to the inside of turn 3, see if we can make another position up there. That annoying beeping you can hear is that radar, which, because it reset before the start of the race, we didn't have a chance to reset that. So unfortunately we have to put up with that for this first race. Down to the hairpin. We're still around the outside. We're going to try and hang it round the outside. But as you can see here, we're just going to run out of road and we have to tuck in behind. Round to the left. Quite happy with this start now. But still trying to make up progress. Don't want to get held up. We're going to send one down the inside. Keep it really tight. Just enough room left for us by Anton. But it hasn't worked out. We're still P9. Bo Dixon now into P10 just behind us as we come up to the chicane.
And Bo Dixon already up to P10 then, so alarming for anybody near the front of this race because Bo Dixon is absolutely on the charge. And actually he's already going to try and make a move around the outside of Adam Christopher. Adam Christopher is going to hold firm up towards Sabina Schmidt curve for the very first time. Bo around the outside. We'll have the inside line for the next corner. I'm not sure he's going to be able to do anything here. He might be boxed in. And as we come then through the right-hander, no, Bo does come through. Anna Christopher does indeed take the position. But let's head up towards the leaders then. Paul Matthews with an 8/10 of a second advantage over the Polish driver Matthias Friedrich. They've got Berger Maisman in second spot. Kim Lay's in 4th position. Front 4 has got a nice little gap then to Joss Schneider, who's about 2 seconds behind them. They've got Den Carter, who's up to P6, a hell of a start then. Although he says he hasn't learned the track particularly well, so he's done the bit that everybody knows. But now it's all about trying to keep your nerve really over the part that nobody knows, or it's tougher to know. Diamond then is currently in P7. Oh, it looks like Volker de Chow is out of this race then. So Volker de Chow is a DNF as it stands. Henny Lefebvre is also at the back of the grid here. Drew Chapman is in P20 because they've got Anthony Hopkins P19. Wondering if there's any damage to these cars. Trucker Robert 13, thanks for the follow. I'm assuming you are looking to watch Bandit race today. As actually Van Vorselen is off the circuit. So Van Vorselen, who was battling in the mid-pack, is now down to P19. Only top 10 score points this season. So you've got to really move through the pack early on. As Diamond makes a mistake here. Diamond in behind Adam Christopher. Adam Christopher, who is right, it's off the circuit. We go for Den Carter. Den Carter loses 4 spots in the space of what, 1 corner? Noemi Salai is also dropping down the pack. It wasn't Noemi Salai dropping down the pack, actually it was Simon Wardle. So Wardle drops down. Mark Cloud now battling with John Gray. Mark Cloud actually battling with Diamond. He's going to get ahead of, it's not Diamond at all, Diamond's up ahead, it's Den Carter. So Den Carter loses out to Mark Cloud as they come up the top of the hill. It's a very hard chicane here. Can't really cut anywhere as John Gray sends one up the inside of Den Carter and gets the position done. The curves are far too high to cut anywhere.
So after a few of those drivers threw it off, as you can see, we're up to P8. even despite losing that to Bo Dixon. I'm going to try and go around the outside of Anton, but back out of it. And as we've seen now, just that little bit of pressure just works in our favour. Mistake from Anton, off the track, we are through into P7. Now just trying to keep the pace up as best we can.
Check out the progress of Bo Dixon then. Up to P6 here. And I think he'll fancy his chances. If he's about 5 seconds behind the leader going into the last lap, it's only going to be a 2-lap race, I think he'll fancy his chances here today. He's right up in behind Josh Schneider. But Bo Dixon. Yeah, he's always doing magical things, that guy, isn't he? But yeah, Bandit is racing. Bandit is currently P18. Because Bo, well, brakes in nicely. So brakes in very nicely and actually overtakes Josh Schneider. So now a bit of a gap to catch up to Kim Lays. But the front four separated by very little. So Bo is trying the last to first challenge as it stands. Remember, we've got a second race today as well. Reverse grid for the second race.
So now we're catching up to Josh Schneider and we get a much better run off that corner. But unfortunately, he's holding that left-hand side. We really do want the left if we can. But we're just going to have to work with the run we've got. This is a long stretch of track here. But the main pinch point is going to be a left-hander, which is a bit frustrating. But you can see we're just almost rubbing door handles. Just need to try and edge ahead of him as we can. We've both got similar speed up this part of the track. Just both seeing if either one of us is going to back out. You'll see here we decide to just check out of it, try and get a better run off the corner. Doesn't really work out as we planned. Still a good run, but unfortunately we've just got to settle in behind Joss at the moment. That's the right coming up. We're still looking for a gap. Look, but the track's just so narrow. Get on the brakes. We're going to try and get a good run off this corner and look to be really cheeky now to try and get up the inside into the carousel. Even just jumping up on the curb. Can we get through? We back out the last second just as he chops across the front of us. Come out of the carousel onto the more technical part of the circuit. As we now fast forward towards the end of the lap. We've been stuck behind Josh for this whole time, so we've lost a lot of touch with the front guys now. But we are going to have to try and just use the toe on this upcoming straight. There's almost no point in passing at the minute. You just got to set behind and then use the toe as we come off this corner. The driver in front will often move around, try and break that toe. Josh, to be fair to him, doesn't really do that too much. So we're just going to work with the toe. We're going to sit in behind him. And if we can clear him by the end of the straight, that should be us up into P5. Considering we were looking for a P10 at the start of today, a top 10 finish, moving into P5, very happy with that. Still working up the straight. We're just about clear of him now as we go into the left, come down towards the end of the lap before we slam on the brakes just before the last few corners.
1 lap to go. Paul Matthews leads by 1.6 seconds. So 1.6 seconds is the advantage. We go a bit further back then. Berger Maisman in P4 battling for that podium. Adam Christopher's just kept his nose clean. He's battling for a top 5. Josh Snyder dropping a bit further back. He's now got pressure from John Gray. They've got Michael Diamond in P8. Mark Cloud in P9. P10 for Lenny de Jong.
And as we skip towards the end of the final lap, that was pretty much the end of our race. Still in P5. These two ahead of us, the third and fourth, we've managed to take roughly 1.5 seconds out of them since the start of this lap, but just not enough, unfortunately, to make a difference. So, starting P17, finishing P5, very happy with that. The top 15 are getting reversed, meaning that we are going to start P11 in the next one.
Here we go. We're about to go green light racing. Bo's going to have to go from 15th this time. Can he go out there and win 2 races in a row? We're about to find out. Whew. And we are green light racing, baby. The second race of the MX5s for the week. Den Carter down towards turn number 1. And I tell you what, Anthony Hobbs has got a very good start here indeed. Down in towards the hairpin.
We're going to look for our similar move again, but it's been covered off this time. So we're going to stay towards the middle of the track. Bo Dixon massively down the outside. We can already see he's trying to go around the outside of us. We are not having that. We are going to chop across the front of Bo. Make sure that we've got that inside line. Bit of a tussle up ahead of us, couple of cars off. What can we make happen? We're going to try and get down the inside. Quite a gaggle of cars into first gear. Just hooking that curve. Little bit of a slide. As we hang it round the outside. Where are we now? We're into P9. We get a good run off the corner. As we come up to the right-hander, to the hairpin. The car in front of us is going to brake. Leave a tiny gap. We're through inside there, even though we've got a car on the inside of us. We can hang it round the outside here. That is P7. And we hold the position round to the left. Trying to keep the speed up. We've got Mark Cloud in front of us. Very quick driver. We've raced him in the past, but we get a great run off the corner. We're going to come down to the chicane. This is all about us trying to get... We've got to get ahead going into this chicane. Otherwise, we're going to lose loads of time behind Mark. We're trying to just force him over to the inside, make him back out. He does at the last second, and we carry the speed through. Up to P6. As we now brake onto the main Nordschleife. And we are on this top 5 already. John Gray just ahead of us, another quick driver. We're all starting to get bunched up. All trying to look for a position, see where we can make a move. But that is exactly the start we were looking for.
Check out Bo Dixon then. So Bo's right behind Paul Matthews right now. These two, of course, were battling for the race victory in race number 1. But look how close it is for the rest of the pack. So this is a top 10. So Bo Dixon's in 10th. 9th then for Paul Matthews, just behind Lenny de Jong. De Jong just in behind Mark Cloud. Adam Christopher's just up ahead of them. John Gray's in 5th. Simon Wardle is in 4th position. Mistake there from John Gray. So Adam Christopher not quite able to take advantage there. But John Gray did run wide. But we got up to the leaders, and Anthony Hobbs just ahead of Den Carter. Den Carter just ahead of Temenga. Very, very close top 10.
So you can see we just tried to get around the outside of John Gray there. Just ran out of room. But we've got a great run off the corner. We're going to try and... We want to get to the left if we can. So at the last minute, we're going to try and switch across. He's got it covered. We've got to go back to the outside again. Are we done enough alongside? Not really. We back out of that. Try and get a good one off the corner. Things have happened ahead of us. We're all jamming on the brakes. It's all checking up. John's down the inside. Bit of a touch. He's lost the rear end. We're going to make ourselves some room here on the outside. Couple of wheels up on the dirt. And we've now got to run side by side down the hill. Each giving each other room. John's very good with that. We're now just ahead. Just as we get round to the left-hand side now, if we can just pull in front, which we've done. P5. It's all about just trying to keep that momentum up. The guys in front are going to battle. But we need to try and make positions where we can. Just looking for an opportunity. Just trying to put pressure on them at the moment. No mistakes just yet. Simon Wardle in P3. Really defensive. He's lost a couple of spaces there. Can we get round the outside of him as well? No, not just before this. We run straight into the back of him and catch it. And that's let John Gray back through. Did not need that. That is disappointing. But still in it. Still in P6. Break down the hill. The back end wants to step out. Someone's in the wall. There's Carter. There's Carter is out of it. We are back into P5. Great run off the corner. Trying to tee up John Gray where we can. The whole pack are now bunched up. Let's break down the hill. Again, we're just balked. We can't really get a run on anyone. The track's too narrow for that. Settled into P5 and just look at the scrap that's coming up behind us.
Back on board then with the lead group here. Look how close this is. Between the lead group, we're halfway through the Nordschleife. You've got Mark Cloud and Paul Matthews door banging their way up the hill. There's no way this ends up in good spirits, is there? There's no way they end up going up towards the carousel still side by side. It's so difficult to go through this next section of the circuit 2 by 2 because you just lose so much time, especially if you're on the outside. And as we run then up towards what will be one of the fastest parts of this circuit, Mark Cloud being on that outside gets just ever so slight bit of help as we head then down towards the carousel for the first time of 2. Lenny de Jong piling the pressure on Paul Matthews as well. John Gray piling the pressure on Anthony Hobbs. Where's Bo Dixon in all of this? He's being patient. He's in P8. He's won race number 1. Doesn't need to really get too involved. Just wants to wait for mistakes. Just needs to wait for mistakes. And he can just pick people off. Again, look at this. It's like the fastest formation lap of all time. It's too wide everywhere. You're looking right at Adam Christopher, bumps over the curb, nearly sends Paul Matthews off the circuit, but he just about gets the brakes down. Bo Dixon now under pressure from Lenny de Jong. Where have we heard that before? Pretty much season after season after season, when it was the WTCRs and DTM. But I tell you what, there's a mistake, a big mistake from Bo. He goes on the top side of the carousel, loses a lot of momentum, and that's going to be a freebie for Kim Lay. So Bo Dixon not having it all his own way here in race number 2. Oh, very, very nice stuff. Back up to the group ahead, so Lenny de Jong at the back now of this next pack of cars. And right now, Anton Semenga has got a big opportunity. Well, that is not ideal. Oh no, everybody will be getting the yellow flags. You've just got to stop now. Mark Cloud, oh, you've got to be careful here. Just stay to the right, stay to the right, stay to the right. Okay, he got away with that there. Mark Cloud had nowhere to go. I think Kim Lace is going to wait here and give that position up. I'd be very surprised if he's not. I think that's why he's going slowly. But I'd be very, oh, has he got damage to the car? I think he's ran into the side there of Lenny de Jong more than anything. So I'd be very surprised if he doesn't give that position up. John Gray trying to close up on the back of P3 here, but look at this, look at the gap. Anton Semenga 2 seconds. Simon Wardle's got a 3-second advantage to P3. This is a mistake there from Hobbs. Hobbs runs wide. John Gray, who will come now through the snake.
So you can see Anthony Hobbs has been a bit of the cork in the bottle. But John Gray's managed to get past him. We are just scared off the apex by Bo Dixon. Really poor. He sends just a bumper to the inside and we shit ourselves and jump off the apex for him. Very poor. Let's crack on forward. So you can see now that Anthony Hobbs has been shuffled out by everyone. We've got to try and follow everyone through so we don't get held up. We choose to go behind Bo. He's going to get through on the inside. We are now the ones stuck behind Anthony, who's driving really well. Can we get to the inside for the next corner? We're going to have to send it if we can. Just chops off the front of us. We've now lost 1.5 seconds to that group ahead. We're going to try and go around the outside of Anthony. We could just wait for the straight afterwards, but we think with the pace difference, if we can just make something happen here, and then we can get clear. We're around the outside, we're into P6, but look at that, 2.5 seconds we're now behind that pack that are ahead. We fast forward now to the second lap. We're just about to turn off onto the Nordschleife. This is the chicane at the end of the lap. We are still in P6. As we go in, we've got John Gray and Paul Matthews ahead of us. Simon Wardle up in P3. Another P5 at this point is what we're thinking of. Be really good if we can make that happen. Carry the speed off. The tyres are wearing out a little bit. Can't get any temperature in these tyres. Drop down the hill. We seem to make quite a lot of time up on the brakes. You can see they're really in deep. Fighting with the car. We're getting a good 10th or 2 there. Again, through this section of the track, being nice and smooth. 2 more temps taken out of John Gray. Can we get a good run off this corner? Try and make something happen. Much closer than we were. We come up down to the double right-hander. Very fast. Just take a little bit of speed off on the way in. Little lift, get it turned, go again. John runs a little bit wide. As you can see now, we are going to try and pull off the move of the season, even though it's only round 2. We're going to try and go right the way around the outside. However, he disappears.
What a day it's been for Bo Dixon at it stands. We see John Gray. Oh, what happened there? Well, John Gray's just disappeared, has he not? Oh, there he is. Did he not just disappear into the abyss? What happened there? He was side by side with Adam Christopher and then off he went. So very interesting. What happened? So Adam Christopher in the top 5, he'd be loving that.
So John Gray with a connection issue there and just seemed to lose 6-7 seconds. Really strange. Had he kept it there, we would have had a great side-by-side battle going into the following right-hander. But either way, we're up to P5. We are now chasing down Paul Matthews and Simon Wardle. Now all of a sudden, do we dare dream of scoring a podium with where we are at the moment?
Back on the board then for the podium. Wow, what an interesting set of races. There we go. Simon Wardle makes a mistake. Paul Matthews sent it up the inside. Wardle then completely gets out of shape on the exit. And that's going to be an absolute freebie for Christopher. Christopher, maybe looking for a podium himself here, ladies and gentlemen, cars. Maybe looking for a podium himself.
That is exactly what we are doing. We can smell a podium from Paul Matthews, and we are already thinking now, no need to pass him. We're just going to sit behind Paul for the rest of this lap so we can get the good run off of that corner towards the end for the long straight. Get in that slipstream as we now fast forward towards the end of the lap. Just down over the crest on the brakes. We take loads of time out of Paul now. We are on him. If anything, we're too close. We don't want to be this close going onto the straight. You won't get the benefit of the toe. You need a few seconds in order for it to really suck you along. So we'll stay with him, but if we're this close towards the end of the lap, we might just give a little bit more room. So we're not completely on his rear bumper. We're really fighting the car now. He's trying to get away from us. Look at the concentration. Fighting with it as best we can. Can we take that podium spot towards the end of this lap?
Just opening up the corners the best he possibly can. And, well, what do you expect? It's going to be 2 from 2 here. Anton Temenga is going to pick up a second position. It really is all about who's going to finish in first. Let's go on board with this battle. So we know that Bo's going to be a second winner. Temenga's going to get that second. It's a good day in the office for Temenga. But I tell you, that's a mistake from Matthews. Can Christopher catch up sufficiently enough to then gain himself a podium? Matthews breaking the toe. It's a long run though. Once you start getting closer and closer, it becomes easier and easier. And I think you'll find that Christopher is close enough. Look at this, Paul Matthews breaking that toe. No, he's not close enough. No, he is, there he goes. So the overspeed does indeed happen in higher gear. And I think you'll find that Adam Christopher on his return might be grabbing himself a podium here. He's got the inside line. Paul Matthews is going to, of course, try and fight for this. But I think you'll find that Adam Christopher has done enough. He's got a full car's length to work with. This is an absolute send here from Matthews. Well, there was nearly an attempt. It's not quite going to work out then. So it is a win for Bo Dixon. Temenga's his second. Adam Christopher does pick up P3. Paul Matthews picks up a P4.
And there we go, across the line to P3. That puts us third in the standings after that. As you can see, we are pretty chuffed with a P3. As always, guys, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you tune in again next week. Great to be back league racing again. Catch up with you next time. All the best.